Hello everyone, my name is Erin, or Camilla, whichever you know me as. I make YouTube videos on transsexual related topics, as well as speaking my opinion being an intersex person. If you don't know what intersex just means I was born a hermaphrodite. So I was born with a medical condition called persistent Mullerian duct syndrome. I am legally a female, and I share my experience as what it's like being intersex and the difference between being intersex and being transgender. So first off, if you're new to my channel and you're interested in learning about trans and intersex related topics from a non-woke perspective, a more moderate to conservative perspective, please consider subscribing to my channel. I upload once, sometimes twice a week, and I talk about things that I um, think are relative to today's political climate and some of the issues I see in the transgender community. Like my videos if you enjoy it, and if you have any comments about this video when it's done, go ahead and comment, like, subscribe, and I will try to answer any questions that y'all may give in the comment section. If you have any topics and video ideas, please go ahead and comment those. I appreciate it so much. So, without any further ado, here we go. My name is Camilla Aaron, and I am a intersex woman. I was born with XY chromosome, biological male, but I was born with persistent Mullerian duct syndrome, which was discovered at a very young age. Persistent Mullerian duct syndrome is very, very, very rare. Like maybe 300 people at any given time are diagnosed with this condition, in which I was born with XY chromosomes, but I was born with a uterus and fallopian tubes. I do not have ovaries, and externally I was born with male genitalia, but my testicles never descended. They are inside my Mullerian ducts, and my penis never developed properly, so it has been about the same size since I was a child. I'm making this video to talk about the differences and some of the issues that I see in the trans community as an intersex person. I market and brand myself as a transsexual person because I have lived as a male and I have lived presenting as a female. Obviously, I can't change my sex from male to female, but I was born both biologically. With that being said, being transgender is a lot different. Transgender people, real transgender people, are born with gender dysphoria. The DSM-5 calls it gender dysphoria, and that's more or less an incongruency from your brain and your body. So for me, I was born with feeling like I'm a female in the brain, but having a penis and testicles on the outside. And being trans is a bit different from being intersex because I have a SRY gene abnormality mutation, SRY gene mutation, 46 chromosome mutation, in which causes me to be born a cryptokid. My testicles never descended, and I was born with a partial female reproductive system. The female counterpart to persistent Mullerian duct syndrome is called partial androgen insensitivity syndrome, and that is for females that are born without a uterus and ovaries that are born with internal testicles. And this does occur, but it's extremely rare. Being intersex is not as rare as people may think. Statistically, we're about as common as a redheaded person. I think that's 1 in every 30,000 people. The most common intersex condition in males is Klinefelter syndrome. Um, I have a much rarer condition, and I do believe that that plays into why I chose to live and present female. Um, Transgender people, on the other hand, are born male or female, but they experience gender dysphoria, but they don't have issues with their chromosomes. There's no mutations that makes them feel this way. It's a psychiatric issue, and I think that all people who are considering transitioning from one gender to the other should always see a medical specialist, see a therapist, see a psychologist, see a psychiatrist. See them for as long as you can before you commit to a gender transition. Now, obviously, no one can actually change their sex. You can't. You're born one sex, you will die that sex. But you can get and develop secondary sex characteristics on hormone replacement therapy and with masculinization or feminization surgeries, as well as gender reassignment surgeries. But no amount of hormones and no amount of surgery is going to change your sex. You just can't do it. Maybe in 100 years, but not now in 2024. But what is going on in 2024 is the transgender community has become so woke, they're so unrelatable, that the LGBT community is seeing decreased acceptance at the most rapid rate in the last 40 years. For 40 years consecutively, the LGBT community was on increased acceptance by the general public. And then post 2015, non-binary came out, more neo-pronouns came out like Zer, and things like that people just don't talk. No one calls someone Zer. It's not natural. No one knows that is. It's very niche thing. And it's not real at all. It's not real. Neither is they, them. If anyone was to use a they, them pronoun, you'd think it would be someone like myself who was born with two different reproductive systems. But obviously, there's two genders. I live as a female. I was born with XY chromosomes, so when I was karyotyped as a baby, I do have XY chromosomes, so therefore I consider myself a biological male with an intersex condition. The intersex condition, I think, trumps my gender dysphoria as the reason that I choose to present and live as a female. I do believe that a majority of people transitioning, maybe 2015 moving forward to present day, I would say at least 60 to 70% of people transitioning are not really transsexuals at all. We have opened our trans umbrella to include so many people that it's become diluted, watered down, and just you can't relate to it. Straight people can't relate to it because it makes no sense. And I understand I'm weird. I mean, who changes their gender? Most people don't do it, and it's socially taboo. And I think that I have a lot of acceptance in my own family and friend group for the fact I was born intersex. I was born with female parts. And I think that plays a role into why I live as a female today. And as I stated, if anyone was to be called they, them with pronouns, it would be someone like myself. Of course, I would never do that because it's not even grammatically correct, let alone socially acceptable. No one is going to gender someone zer, or they, them. People don't think that. They look like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I see a female. People call me ma'am, she, her in my daily life and at work and all of my affairs. I am seen as a woman because I have put the work in. I have had facial feminization surgery. I have had my facial hair permanently removed, and I've been on hormones for over a decade. And I will acknowledge the fact that I am a biological male. The trans community, the woke ideology, they act like they can actually change their sex, and you can't. It's impossible. So, pardon me, my allergies are bothering me. My nose is so itchy. The reason that I decided to transition was a combination of gender dysphoria and having an intersex condition. And as I stated, intersex is rare, maybe 1 in 30,000 people, with the most common condition being Klinefelter syndrome. But there are people like myself who transition for different reasons, but I am still valid as a transsexual woman. I will never be a woman. I am a transsexual woman, and I was born biologically male with an intersex condition. Being a hermaphrodite is not something, it's a hard pill to swallow, and growing up, I felt like a freak, and I still do to this day. And I realized that people that change their gender, it's not normal, it's not socially acceptable overall, and a lot of my friends and family don't understand it. I think it's easier for my parents and a lot of my close relatives to accept, embrace, and love me regardless of how I present because I am intersex, and that gives them scientific basis on why I choose to live and present the way that I do. If I had no intersex condition, I think it would be harder for my family and friends to accept me, but I still do believe I would get acceptance from my parents and my closest friends, because if someone truly loves you, they're going to love you for who you are regardless of how you present. But people who transition for the wrong reasons generally don't get improved quality of life. In fact, I have so many friends on my social media that are liberal transgender people, and they're miserable. It seems like their transitions are honestly caused their life more issues than they had pre-transition. And there's also this narrative push towards parents. Would you rather allow your child to transition and live, or let them go by letting them, because they'll unalive themselves if they don't get the transition, which is horrible. Minors are thinking with their amygdala. You don't think with your prefrontal cortex till you're 24 or 25 years old. The amygdala uh, is more based more on emotions and a lot less critical thinking than what we're thinking with our prefrontal cortex. I think it's important for people to wait and seek a lot of therapy, years of it if possible, before someone tries to move into a gender change, because it's life changing, it's going to sterilize you, and you're going to lose friends and family. Regardless of who you are, if you're going to lose some people in your life, you may be discriminated against, and you're going to be sterilized, and that just comes with it. There's a lot of cons that the trans community does not talk about when they push the narrative transition them or unalive themselves. I hate to hear that. And if your children are telling you that, they're children. I don't recommend parents letting their children transition. If anyone is to transition, it should only be an adult thing. It's an adult's game, and it's not for children to play with. Children can't consent to smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, or even getting a tattoo. Getting something like this is permanent, but sterilizing yourself is so much more permanent than just a tattoo. So I made this video just to enlighten people on intersex condition as well as transsexuality, like myself, and the fact that being trans is rarer than you see it to be. Most people that are transitioning in today's day and age are not trans. They're doing it from, whether it's from trauma response, they feel like they failed at the gender they were born as, they want a fresh start, an act of rebellion. There's a lot of reasons, and especially in minors. No minor should transition. I don't recommend it. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to comment in the comment section. I will respond to the best of my ability to comments. If you have suggestions for video topics, I would appreciate that so much, and I really do appreciate all video idea recommendations. It helps me create better videos, more videos, and helps educate more people. Please don't be rude in the comment section, as I'm trying to create a safe and healthy learning environment. I don't want people to feel like they're going to get judged if they comment. I want everyone to feel comfortable in the comment section on the Aaron channel. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed and watched this video so far. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day or evening wherever you're at. And I will see you next time. Thank you.